That was a spoiler. What's up, everybody? Good intro. Welcome to my show. Today, we are talking about Bitcoin.com and the HEX token, which is Richard's Hart new ERC20 coin. And what does this all mean? What does this all mean to Bitcoin Cash? Well, let's talk about it, shall we? Let's talk about it. So welcome, everybody. There's a lot of people in the chat. I am watching chat on YouTube, so feel free to drop some questions. Make fun of Samson. He's in the Samson Mao's in the chat. Samson Meow, as he's likes to be called, I hear. But first, some very small news. So my last episode was about the crypto deleted channel, which was like raided by these people who didn't like their deleted tweets being put on it. Well, it wasn't so much that. It was there was an actual person, an actual user behind the account, and they kind of had like a political agenda. He was making fun of people. He wasn't just doing bot things. But anyways, so then they like raided it and got it mass reported and deleted. And long story short, Zach Vole, who is a new hire at Blockstream, I actually met this dude in real life. We did a debate. It was me, Zach, Kevin Pham, and Daniel Krawitz, all at TabConf last year, about 10 months ago. Was that? Maybe it was. Yeah, it was like 10 months ago. But yeah, Zach did this weird thing where it was supposed to be like a BTC, BSV, and BCH debate, and there was no moderator, so Zach just kind of like stood up and like had the microphone and was like moderating it. Anyways, it was kind of weird, but he deleted his account, and so this was today. You do have a 30-day window from when you can reactivate your account, so we'll be watching this. Because Blockstream, one of their main products is a social media output. I mean, obviously they have Liquid and other federated things that are on top of Bitcoin, but they don't. Their main output is social media influence. Who is BCH? BCH doing well. Roger's not charged of BCH. Well, this is true. But we'll talk about it. Some other milestones. 2 years ago was the all-time high of BTC, which was actually 19,700. CoinSpice had a better number on this, but happy anniversary, guys. Right now it is like 6,500 or something like that, so really great store value. Hopefully everybody hodled till their hearts. Everybody hodled until their hearts were full of hodling. I couldn't think of anything. I'm sorry. So yeah, let's get into it, shall we? I run the Spokane meetup. Should I recommend HEXcoin to everyone? No, you should not recommend it to anybody. Okay, so this was how many days ago? This is 2 days ago now. Man, I swear, a day in crypto feels like a goddamn week. But anyways, Bitcoin.com announced they are listing HEX, and they still are listing HEX as of this air date of this video. But so what is HEXcoin? Well, it's Richard Hart, and Richard Hart, if you didn't know, is a very controversial figure in this space. We'll go a little bit into his history. I don't want to dwell on it too much. I just kind of want to go over what happened with this whole situation, how it relates to Bitcoin Cash. And so this guy was originally a Bitcoin Cash maximalist. He was a Bitcoin maximalist. And his first actually like big interview, his first was actually with Daniel Krawitz, which is kind of funny. And Daniel Krawitz was actually playing a video game during their interview. Maybe I'll dig that up at the end here. But yeah, this was his first like claim to fame within crypto, and it garnered a lot of views very quickly because it was Roger Ver and is kind of right on the cusp of. Oh, I just lost my timestamp. God damn it. Let me find it real quick. All right, here it is.
Good ecosystem of Bitcoin people that didn't do that pump and dump crap. We're going to pay the price in regulation.
That didn't do that pump and dump crap. And so he obviously didn't like altcoins. He's a Bitcoin maximalist at the time. They didn't have these two together have a very cordial like conversation. There's no like bad mouthing each other or anything. But anyways, he was a former BTC maximalist, okay? And then he kind of just started to embrace Ethereum and tokenization as the years went on. And then HEX was announced like a year ago, and it was finally released earlier this month. And basically, if you held BTC, you could claim your free HEX coins, okay? And you could claim your free HEX. So like, if you claimed your free HEX, good job, you can dump it. But So let's get into what should we talk about what hex is now? Yes, this sounds like a good thing to talk about. What the heck is a hex? And so it's not technically a Ponzi or a pyramid scheme, but it's actually, it gives a lot of money to its creator, Richard Hart. It gives hex, basically you stake your hex and then like half of your rewards go into the founder's address, which is, Richard doesn't claim that he owns this, but it's like the biggest address by far, and it's this is hidden deep within his website, is his founder's address where all this hex gets funneled to. And it's just so obvious, but he's never actually like claimed it because he probably doesn't want to actually get in trouble. Rhett and Richard GTFO. Thanks for that donation, my dude. But yeah, basically over time, the staking and the rewards are going to funnel into this address, and it's not cool. It's very so they call it a certificate of deposit. And so when you go to a bank and you deposit money, they give you a certificate of deposit, and then you earn interest on it, right? And hex you earn interest on by staking it, but again, half of your interest goes right into this founder's address. And so it's just like, it looks just so scammy, right? It's just like, oh, look at all these Bitcoin. It's not actually Bitcoin. It's on Ethereum, but he has these Bitcoins in the back. Oh, it's kind of fun to play with. Follows you. That's fun. That's so fun. Where's my music? And so Bitcoin, here's where it gets like kind of scammy, okay? And Bitcoin went up 26 times from $750 to $20,000 in only 378 days. If you got in at $1, you made 7 times more in Ethereum. Imagine how 1,400 times returns feel. Some people got in 3 times cheaper than that. Some people got in 3 times cheaper than that. And so most of the wealth in the world is made by those that get in first. And so Blockstream doesn't control my node. Blockstream is just Blockstream. All of the origin address, Hex has moved to 10 to 12 other addresses where it's been staked for 10 years. Yes, I did see that. And it's such a like convoluted thing. And what does like Hex actually do? Well, it's supposed to just be, you're supposed to just hodl it and stake it and make money. Like, it's just the most, like, what's the use? The use is to make money. Like, it basically shows that it's a scam right in its face and says, it's okay. Like, we're not really a scam, but like, here's everything. We're not a scam, but we're going to promise everything that is basically scammy, right? Like, oh man, let me go back to it. Oh, wrong tab. Sorry about that. That was embarrassing. Hex looks like a very bad investment. And so, the most important feature of the Hex contract is that the origin address wins every time. Since that is not mentioned anywhere on their website other than an obscured advanced analysis link, which like you have to go through and freaking like, let's see, bigger pays better. Up to 10% bonus shares, 150 million Hex staked. It's, again, they just like throw all these numbers at you. Like, you're going to make a bunch of money. You're going to pay bunches of money. Pays trustless interest with no counterparty risk. And like, where is this? It's Hex is the opportunity of a lifetime, designed to do over 10,000 times return in under 2.5 years. If it walks like a scam, talks like a scam, looks like a scam, sounds like a scam, it's probably a scam. So, like, pool return on investment, coin staked of percent of total supply. It's just like, ooh, exponential, wow. It's just so ridiculous, man. The team. So this is really funny, actually. So the team, Richard Hart, and then Cody. I'm not sure who Cody Lamson is, but this is the funniest part. Cody was the lead blockchain. Oh no, none of Cody's code made it into the release in Hex. What does he even do? Oh man, we got a lot going on in chat here. No promises. Okay. Why did BTC was accepted when he was BT Maximalist if he's that bad? So anyone want to do the free $90? Jesus Christ. Why not use ETH? Please no ref shilling in my chat. Thank you. Smells like bullshit. Maybe it's like cloud mining without... Maybe it's like cloud mining without clouds. And so, like on this announcement tweet, like Richard tweets this. It did a 66 times wick up on the listing announcement. And actually the volume on this was 1/4 of a Bitcoin, which is what, like $1,000, $2,000. So like, I mean, who the hell had freaking sell orders that high, right? And so I think it's now trading at like 3 Satoshis. And so it went down a lot. There's a hockey stick. And look it's embarrassing. And so, of course, people are outraged because it's basically a scam. And so Roger posted this. Well, it was posted on RPTC, and a lot of the community was mad at this. And so, yes, Bitcoin.com is not Bitcoin Cash. But go up to a crypto normie, ask them about Bitcoin Cash. Ask them about Bitcoin Cash. What do you know about Bitcoin Cash? And I guarantee you they're going to say something about Roger and or Bitcoin.com. And this is inevitable. This is the biggest company that's involved in Bitcoin Cash, whether you like it or not. But they are. And when you pair Bitcoin.com brand right next to HEX, it's not good optics. And I know whatever, companies can do whatever they want. Yes, but customers have the ability to complain about it. Like that's the free market. A free market isn't, hey, shut up, they're a company, they can do what they want. No, a free market is people expressing their opinions about things. And if they don't like something, they can say they don't like it. And if you tell someone, hey, shut up, like, you're suppressing somebody's free speech. So there you go. And I had something else I was going to add there. And so some other things about Richard in general. This was September 2017. I hope I'm not on the right page. September 2017. My favorite podcaster, probably of all time, Chris DeRose. What's up, party people? I don't want to be Chris DeRose, I'll be honest with you guys. So just trying to be as cool as him. I mean, like, I need to get the mic where it hangs down like that. That's pretty cool, actually. I could probably do that, actually, now I think about it here. Oh, game over, bros. Oh, I need to hide my cord. Alright, so I'm basically Chris DeRose now. But he talks to Jonathan Sterling, who like did this dive on Richard Hart and about his shady past. And I started to look into this, and he was called the Spam King, friggin' Spam King, and essentially he helped send out a bunch of really shitty emails to these weird sites and was involved with a bunch of gamblers and drug traffickers or something like that. But I do recommend this video if you want to kind of look at it more. There is a link in this description, which has like a shit ton of documents about Richard and the things he was involved in, especially in Panama. And like it's just so much stuff. I just like a lot of this is like emails that was sent out. I just saw something about like hot sex or something. But here's a good clip I like from this.
So for the robot number 11 in the channel says Satoshi didn't want to get doxxed if he had been and you didn't like what he found. Would that detract from what Satoshi offered? Look, robot number 11, I don't know what to tell you, but Satoshi was a lot brighter than Richard was and wasn't asking for money like Richard was. So for the robot number 11 in the channel says Satoshi didn't want to get doxxed if he had been and you didn't like what he found. Would that detract from what Satoshi offered? Look, robot number 11, I don't know what to tell you, but Satoshi was a lot brighter than Richard was and wasn't asking for money like Richard was. So I think it's a very different case. And I'm not trying to, and also robot number 11, I'm not trying to destroy Richard. I'm adding information into the public that was already out. By the way, that information was on Google. That was on google.com. It was on their group server. So Google Groups or something, or groups.google.com. So like I was also very careful about that as well. Like I don't know.
Okay, and this mic is kind of bothering me. I need to set it up properly. I will go back to here. But yeah, I recommend this if you want to kind of look at Richard's backstory. It's, I mean, this dude is like a career like swindler, for lack of a better word. He's a grifter. He goes with the flow, which is, I mean, I always kind of said that it's good if it's a good sign. It's not good. It's a good sign if the scammers start showing up and they're using your currency, right? I mean, like they're using currency people want to use, and so Richard has shifted from this Bitcoin maximalist to a Bitcoin Cash a Bitcoin Cash perspective, I suppose. I suppose a better perspective is anti-Bitcoin maximalism, right? And so he did a live stream with Roger 2 nights ago, right after the announcement of this Bitcoin and Bitcoin.com HEX partnership, if you want to call it. That's not a partnership, it's just a listing, but it seemed very planned. It seemed very planned. It seemed like this was in the works for a couple weeks, and it's just interesting why Roger, I love Roger. I think he stands for great things, but like this is just, again, it's just not a good look. I mean, you just having HEX and Bitcoin Cash next to each other is just not a good look. And I know Bitcoin.com is not Bitcoin Cash, but it's all about the optics. I mean, people get mad when people say Bcash. That's optics. Like, yes, people have the right to say Bcash, but you have the right to say, hey, don't say Bcash. You know, it's the same. It's the same thing. Damn, link didn't work. I've never heard he was. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yes, I think we've established this basically, that he's a career scammer, and he'll if I would invite him onto the show, which would be very entertaining, I'm sure, for people, he would just talk my ear off and be, why is this a scam? Why is this a scam? Why is this a scam? And he would just keep talking. Like this interview, Richard, it's actually only for 2 hours, and then Roger drops off, and then Richard talks for 4 more hours. And like I've done long streams, but I've like been doing something. He just like looks at chat and talks. I don't know how you can do that. And so I did have one actually thread that was also very good that I retweeted. It wasn't mine. I'm not trying to tug my own thing here, but okay, here it is. Okay, so for a brief primer, what HEX is, under a HEX, I think you can just Google under a HEX, and under a HEX. I think, yeah. So that would work. Type in under HEX on Google. It's a great write-up about how technically it works. I don't want to dive into it here because I'm sure I'll get some details wrong, and that's not very fun. And so it is important to note, not even before launch, HEX already had notorious public opinion, which was divided between horror and amusement. Like, everybody thought this was a joke for a long time. Like, Roger, Bitcoin.com, and not the entirety of Bitcoin Cash, they play crucial roles in the infrastructure, promotion, and businesses conducted on the chain. The community generally holds it in high regard. Important, if not the most important ally in spreading peer-to-peer electronic cash. Outside of the community, many see Bitcoin.com as the face of Bitcoin Cash, for better or for worse. Their public image directly affects that of Bitcoin Cash and vice versa. Community members spend unhealthy amounts of time defending their reputation all the time, which is very true. I've defended Bitcoin.com so many times. I'm not going to defend them on this. I love the people that work for them, but again, it's HEX. Come on. The immediate impact is a large regression in both Bitcoin.com and Bitcoin Cash's reputation, but more importantly, it shows a gross lack of awareness and judgment capacity from the most visible player on the chain. And so, use a good reputation to get mass adoption, fight FUD on the way to mass adoption, generate FUD yourself before others do, seek existing scams and partner with them. Was it private broadcast? Was it private broadcast? Is that what it was? Yeah, I'll get to that. Well, Roger said Craig right too. Maybe he hasn't learned how to see through these losers. Yeah, that's been a concern of Omri. He's made this quite public. For example, Craig, these Bit Club guys. I actually went to a presentation on Bit Club like 2 years ago with a friend. And I was sitting there like, this is like such a scam. Like, the Bit Club guys. I know Mt. Gox is whatever. He didn't actually say solvent, but it is an example, right? It's optics, right? And this again. So, yeah, it's very hard to see through bullshit in crypto because everything is so convoluted, right? And anyways, it's not a fatal blow to the entire project. You can probably see why this is very damaging, especially to an adoption-focused community like Bitcoin Cash. How do we explain to the folks in the trenches promoting Bitcoin Cash one wallet at a time? How do we deflect scam accusations? The impact runs deeper than the immediate damage. Community members are starting to question if our respected leaders show this much lapse in judgment and cannot even be convinced that there's a problem in the first place, what says it for future decisions? But if you don't trust Roger's judgment, do your own thing then. He has no obligation to you. Fair statement, but no, we do not vent our frustration because we want to damage Bitcoin.com. Quite the opposite. We want it to succeed along with Bitcoin Cash. It's not even clear whether HEX can bring any net benefit to the exchange's bottom line. While any new pair is likely to increase volume, HEX is unlikely to survive long-term due to its structure, and the damage to reputation probably harms the exchange and brand long-term. If it's just any other company in the field, we'll likely just laugh off. But Bitcoin.com is special as a rallying point. The fondness is what makes it hurt so much. I have things in the work for Bitcoin Cash, you name it, and I don't intend to quit just because of this one event, me neither. But I wish something to learn from this and relevant parties, Roger included, can be a bit more considerate moving forward. In true ANCAP fashion, you don't have to consider some mystical public good, simply put a bit more thought into how it's going to affect your own long-term bottom line. Everyone will be better for it. This applies to everyone. Bitcoin.com wallet? Public-facing ones are, but I don't think it was. Shouldn't Bitcoin Cash tools all be open source? Why are you hater? Don't buy. Move on. Again, this is... People keep telling me this. Don't buy it. Move on. Just dump it. It's not about the listing. It's not about the actual listing. It's about the optics of it all. And so... Probably the thing that stung the most about this all was Stefan Russ, the new CEO of Bitcoin.com. He said this in a Telegram channel. People were asking him, why did you list HEX? He says, did you see the interview with McCormick? Just out of spite, we're going to list HEX. Check the YouTube video Richard Hart, Peter McCormick. Anyone that has a maximalist who claims to be a journalist act like that against an OG, ... And this is... I'm not sure how closely Stefan has followed the actual space before. Saying Richard Hart's OG is... Nah. And I don't know any way else to read this besides they listed HEX to spite Peter McCormack, which is just like the weirdest reason I've seen. Like I'm not defending this at all. Like, so it's not just a listing. It's a listing. It's the justification from their CEO, and then it's Roger being buddy with Richard Hart on a live stream. And while this live stream, it was Bitcoin Cash Shillfest essentially. It could be seen as a good thing. There was like 2,000 viewers that were listening to this and getting shilled Bitcoin Cash and anti-Bitcoin maximalism, which is what I do, and I have 30 viewers right now. So you could call it a net positive for Bitcoin Cash in that respect, but I think this is just one of many decisions that just doesn't look good for Bitcoin.com. So I want a true free market exchange. People need to read. Most people don't even know the free markets cannot just be controlled by any authority, not just govs. I want a true free market exchange. Yes, that's fine. Again, it's everything together. Tribalism is killing crypto. That doesn't help trying to kill someone else's project. I'm not trying to kill any project here. I'm trying to make Bitcoin Cash look as good as possible, and HEX does not look good. So that's the simplest way I can say it. HEX doesn't look good. Bitcoin Cash needs to look good. And that's it. And if you say I'm complaining about a listing, no, I'm complaining about it because I'm a person who is on the front lines trying to make Bitcoin Cash look good, and this doesn't make it look good. And it's another thing I have to fight off. And I'm not going to defend a HEX listing. So sorry. And so, yeah. And so this obviously was taken, especially this screenshot. It's just a little bit unbelievable. And so what happened after this? And so this morning at 6:30, 6:41 a.m., I got a notification, and I was very excited to see this notification. It says delisting the HEX token of Bitcoin.com exchange. And you go to click it, and the video is private. And I was hoping it would come public today before I did my show, and it never was. And so it looks like this video has been made and uploaded, but nobody can see it. And nobody has any answers about why it was uploaded. I mean, I've uploaded videos that weren't, and then I see something in it that wasn't correct, and I fix it right away. But it's been over 12 hours now, so still waiting on this video to come out. Hopefully Roger can kind of see the community backlash to this, and hopefully it can kind of help patch things up a little bit. So that's where HEX and Bitcoin.com is standing right now. Again, this video is not out, it's not public, but it might be someday. So shoot, Tron is on Coinbase now, and people call it a scam and still do. Again, you don't see Roger going to talk to Justin Sun and being buddy with him, shitting on maximalists. Let's shut up, Samson. I build on BCH and don't agree. HEX affects its image, but you are trying to kill another project. I'm not trying to kill anything. I'm just saying don't buy HEX, and I would not like Bitcoin Cash to be associated with it. And if you don't think it affects the image, well, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Free markets means you can damage the reputation of your coin enough it fucking dies. This is correct. And so this is where we sit, and this is where we sit. So is HEX a scam? Probably not technically. Is HEX made to enrich Richard Hart? Yes. Is Richard Hart have some really shady past and a grifter based on what's popular at the time? Yes. And so maybe, like I said before, maybe it's a good thing that Richard has taken this anti-maximalism stance, because maybe it's becoming the popular stance to have finally, which might be a good sign. If you're going to grift towards the popular side, well, welcome everybody. I mean, everybody's welcome to use Bitcoin Cash. So, HEX Connect. You going to suggest who Roger should talk to? I think Roger's been given enough. He's been given enough resources. He did have some comment. But yeah, I'm sure he's given the resources, just up to him to make his decision. I mean, it looks like they've made the decision, but we'll have to wait to see if this video actually does come out. So yeah, that is HEX. So yeah, again, some people think that, hey, they're a private business, they can do what they want, but as a marketing guy for Bitcoin Cash, I don't think this was a good move. So people are entitled to opinions, though, and if we disagree, well, we disagree. So, but saying you can't criticize a business because you're allies with them, which is what I saw. Who did I see that from? Yeah, I saw it from somebody like, why would you criticize them? They're your allies. It's like, private message them so you don't stir up shit in public, right? Well, it's too late for that. This is public. If somebody caught wind of it in private and said, hey, you probably shouldn't do that, that's a little different. But so yeah, and maybe this just goes to prove Bitcoin Cash is not a cult. So it was good to see the variety of opinions around this. I mean, people are still having debates about this, and it's refreshing to see in a way, because it does say, hey, we're not all Roger sock puppets, like Bashko likes to say literally all the time. So Tron is not on Coinbase. I think you're thinking of EOS. Well, that's a scam. I'm just kidding. I don't know that much about EOS. I just know they advertise free transactions, but you need to stake a bunch of coins to actually get these free transactions. And I think at one point it was like a couple $100 worth. So cool, I guess. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna call that my show. I'm gonna keep streaming though on DLive. Link is in the description. I probably will be streaming on Thursday, or having another show on Thursday. Hoping to get a guest on soon. I've had 7 shows, and this is my 7th show in a row, all by myself. Can you believe I have that much shit to talk about? Crypto never sleeps, and that is true. They're all cults, says client. Cults generally have a leader, and you generally die for that leader, no matter what they say. I know a few coins BSV that are definitely cult-like, but I wouldn't call BCH a cult by any means. So, yeah, US not John. So many scams to keep track of. Yeah, there's definitely a scammy scale. I might have to. I need to do something with the scammy scale. The scammy scale is too good. Remember, guys, on the scammy scale, at the bottom 0 is BCH. At the top 10 is BTC. All right. All right, guys. Beyond D Live link is in the chat. Thank you, Kyle. I'm probably just gonna look at my alt account and say how stupid Bitcoin maximalists grift. They say stupid things for likes. So bring Vin back. Vin was a good one. Maybe I'm gonna see. I'll see. I'm trying to get some some pretty high profile people. Maybe I'll try and venture outside of Bitcoin Cash, which would be great. Wouldn't it be great to have a diversity of opinions on my channel? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that'd be so crazy. Scammy scale could measure. Yeah, BCH only has a benevolent dictator, not a leader. Lol. There are multiple implementations though, but people generally do follow a Bitcoin ABC. Yes, so but again, calling it a cult, nah, it's not a cult because if you didn't like what Amaury is doing, well, start supporting and using other node software. Nobody's censoring BCHD people. So, but anyways, off to D Live. Thanks, guys.